Hey everyone, it's Dinah, and we are here for the final trailer of tonight, which is a Star Wars trailer. We have a new Star Wars trailer, a new Star Wars project coming, I think later this year. I think it is meant to be this year. This is the first official trailer for the Acolyte. So this is, I think this is like a completely kind of original new kind of project. It's like the earliest kind of prequel we can get. It's set even long before the prequels. I believe it's set during way back during the High Republic era, which I think, as far as I know, the only stories we have in like set during that era come in book form. Like there are books and stories written during those, but there's no games or movies. I mean, I don't think there are any games, but there's no movies, there's no shows or anything like that. So this is like set way back when. So this kind of would help kind of set up even earlier kind of blueprints for what's to come in the prequels and the originals and the sequels and whatever have you. So yeah, I think this is a completely kind of new kind of story, new characters and everything, so like a new kind of era, I think our first official televised kind of story from that era for people to kind of get into and everything. So yeah, we've had some great kind of work, in terms of original stories and stuff. We've had some great kind of hits with like The Mandalorian and Boba Fett and and Andor as well. All have been pretty highly kind of received and everything. So with this one, I see no reason this shouldn't get any similar treatment, and it shouldn't be anticipated as highly or anything like that. I think I might know like a couple of the cast members from this. I think Amandla Stenberg is meant to be in this. I think Rue from the Hunger Games. I actually did rewatch the Hunger Games quite recently. Does not get any easier watching her die. But I think she's in this, and I think who else is in this? I think the guy from Squid Game might be in this. I could be wrong. I think the guy from Squid Game might be in this. I haven't watched Squid Game yet, but I think he might be in this. And there's like a whole other bunch of recognizable kind of top tier faces. But yeah, I think I'm not entirely sure what to expect from this. I haven't read any stories from the High Republic. I haven't read any stories that might have any relational connection to this. I'm going to this completely blind. I don't know what to expect. I don't know if that's actually going to work out in my favor, or if I'm going to feel like more lost than I actually should. If I'm not going to recognize something I see, that's like my worst fear right now. So I don't know, but I am still excited to see what they're going to store for us. So let's go see what they've got in store.
Close your eyes.
Ooh, younglings? They look like younglings. They might be younglings, yeah. These are younglings. Okay, long before Anakin's time. How very lucky they are. Mm-hmm. Ooh, purple lady. Who's the purple lady?
Tell me, what comes into your mind?
Oh, it's him. Yeah, he's the one from Squid Game.
Life. Balance. I see fire.
Carrie-Anne Moss! Trinity! Trinity's in Star Wars! We got Trinity in Star Wars! Trinity with the Force! Oh, is that her? Is that Amandla Stenberg?
Someone is killing Jedi. It doesn't make sense.
A Wookiee?
What happened? I sensed darkness.
Damn! Ooh! Ooh! Damn! Okay. Manny Jacinto! So many faces. I can't believe we get Carrie-Anne Moss.
This is about power and who is allowed to use it.
Whoa.
What is that?
No way. Is that a Sith Lord? 2-episode premiere? Was that a Sith Lord? Everything about that scene gave off Sith Lord vibes. Like, not just the red lightsaber, but that. I feel like there's probably not too many people who want to kill, or like too many entities who want to, inflict harm upon Jedi more than a Sith. So because I think again this is long before Imperial stuff, long before the Empire, long before Palpatine. So could we see like Plagueis in this? Is this like is this too far back for Darth Plagueis, or is this like could he be? Like, I don't know. Like, because I remember in the prequels, like, they did establish that, like, there's always two. I don't know, like if that always applied from the beginning, or if it eventually evolved into that. Like, you know, like even with the Jedi, they have the Masters and the Apprentice too, or like they have the Master and the Padawan. Or like, is it like the Knight and the Padawan? I think they like evolve into, like, from Jedi Masters into Jedi Knights, and then the Padawans. So I think that they have that in the Padawans, but then Siths have, like, at least in the prequels onwards, they had like a Master and an Apprentice. So, you know, I mean, if it's just one Sith, then I feel like that would make it even worse if it's just one Sith that's going around killing Jedi. But yeah, Mad Stenberg is the purple one. So I don't know if we saw her with a lightsaber, but she can definitely fight. I think she had like actual metal blades and everything that she was fighting with, and she was doing like kicks and flips and all sorts of shit. If they incorporate any kind of actual martial arts into this, then I am already so fucking in love with this show. I'm already so in love with it. But yeah, and Carrie-Anne Moss, we've got freaking Trinity in Star Wars. Just like, I really hope it's like seeing Trinity but with the Force. I think even with the Matrix, like you have like those elevated kind of levels of physics defying kind of moves and choreography and all that kind of stuff. That's already there. But with this one, she has like I think she has, like, you know, yet another kind of way and yet another reason to be as cool as she is. So she actually like presumably does have the Force, and she knows how to fight and all that kind of stuff, and she's facing off against her. This is actually, I think this is Dafne Keen. Yeah, I think I just remember. I think I saw her at the end watching the trailer and everything. I think it was like slightly kind of hard, like, for a second to actually recognize her with the like the facial kind of paint and everything. But this, I think that I'm pretty sure that is her. And then I actually remember that, because I do remember watching the Star Wars Celebration live streams when they were actually announcing the cast for the shows. Like, they did like Ahsoka, they did Andor for season 2, they did the Acolyte and like Bad Batch and stuff as well. So I do remember, I think she might have been there actually promoting that and being like a part of that and everything, so she is in this too. I do recognise the guy behind her, but I can't remember his name. Yeah, that's the Squid Game actor, so I think he presumably is Jedi. I think he actually is speaking English in this too, so I do wonder, like, if he actually had to learn it, or if he had to, you know, if they just kind of had like an on-set kind of dialect coach or dialogue coach or something, you know, but I don't know, like how much he kind of might have had to practice English for this, but... Which, I mean, I do wonder maybe if we couldn't have had like a Jedi that just kind of speaks another language, or if that wouldn't have... Because, I mean, we have plenty of different languages in the Star Wars universe, and everyone seems to understand it without too much kind of effort. She doesn't look like a Sith, but I don't know if maybe she's not going to really be a Jedi either, but then maybe she actually does have some connection to the Force, or maybe she actually does have some, like, something to lose in this story, so she actually is like a fighter of sorts, or maybe like a lone wolf or something like that, but she looks badass. So Manny Jacinto, my boy, Manny Jacinto, like, what was he, what was he in The Good Place? Who was he in The Good Place even? Not Pillboy, who was he? There was Eleanor, there was Chidi, there was Tahani, and there was... Why am I blanking on his name now? Eleanor, Chidi, Tahani... Jason, that's it, Jason, yeah, he was Jason Mendoza, yeah, so he's gonna be in this too. Is he a Jedi? I don't know, but either way, he's in this, so that's really cool. Definitely good. I think I actually haven't seen him in anywhere other than The Good Place. But I think the actor for Pillboy, he was on Loki. He's been on Loki, so he's also kind of traversed into Marvel / Disney as well. So now we have Jason Mendoza, we have Manny Jacinto in Star Wars as well. So good to see our boys from The Good Place, actually, our people from The Good Place actually making their way up. So yeah, I think we've had Jamila Jamil on She-Hulk as well. So I think only really Eleanor and Chidi. Well, I think Chidi was an anime. I just remember Chidi's anime, because I think I was remembering he actually was a really popular fan cast for Reed Richards. It did not work out though, but I think in the end he actually did end up kind of being someone like an actual mind reader on and in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. So he did end up coming over somehow, but it was somewhat of a lackluster role, if we're being honest. But still, it's good to see our Good Place people actually making their way over. So I think I don't know if Kristen Bell wants any part in any of this, like any kind of Disney kind of role or something. But either way, I think I can't get over Carrie-Anne Moss being in this. Like, God, like just such a hardcore childhood crush of mine, just kind of being in even newer kind of role. I don't know exactly how long, like, before, like, the prequels, the High Republic is, like how long, like, before all of that it is, like how long it's meant to be, or how close it's meant to be. But, you know, because I don't know if we're meant to actually expect any kind of crossover with the actual kind of future stories like the prequels, at least, or if it's gonna be something that purely is inspiring the stuff that's to come later on, like if this is its own story set in its own time, featuring its own heroes and villains and dark forces and all that kind of stuff, but then it does kind of inspire some of the tragedies and some of the hardships that come later on in the story and in the game and everything. So for them to set up future characters and future stories and character arcs and everything, just let it be its own thing, let it tell its own story, let it take its own place in the Star Wars universe and in the chronology as well. My throat is very dry. I would be all the more for that instead of actually waiting to see whatever kind of foreshadowing or Easter eggs comes up or something, you know. So from what I remember of the lore in that they covered in Jedi Fallen Order, I think when Cal is making like his own kind of lightsaber, like from the kyber crystal he finds and everything, like the red ones are like where like typically come from when you bleed the kyber crystal down completely and like use its power in such a harsh way, which I think typically only Sith would do, or typically only a dark side force user would do. So I think maybe like the tagline for this is in an age of light, darkness rises. So maybe this could be the rise of like the dark side of the force, and maybe like the rise of dark side users. And maybe it's not even explicitly a Sith, but maybe it's like a rise in more and more people kind of turning to the dark side, more and more people discovering the dark side. So like the Sith themselves are not explicitly a thing yet. Like that kind of branding of such people hasn't been created yet. It hasn't actually come into existence yet. But maybe somewhere along the line, like Jedi, or maybe like Jedi and or Force users along the line somewhere have managed to discover the dark side and discover its power, and they've actually kind of come across that, but now they're actually going out of their way to take out Jedi, because then maybe any Jedi that come across them, they don't allow them to actually kind of, you know, spread the word that they're there, you know. Maybe like the whole point of Darkness Rising is that no one really kind of sees it coming and everything, so could be, I don't know. But seeing the red lightsaber, like, there's one hell of a cool shot, just it flying through the trees and getting into the hands and everything, and all the Jedi just simultaneously just like pulling out their lightsabers and going to war. Just that is just such a shot. That is such a good shot. So yeah, 2-episode premiere June 4th. So yeah, Disney does love to see them multi-episode premieres for all of their shows. I think hopefully, I mean, Andor I believe was like 12 or 13 episodes, so hopefully this is like a similar schedule, because if this is only like 8 episodes or something, then I can't really imagine that, you know, people would want to get through this like too quickly. But yeah, oh god, I am excited. I am so excited. I think I actually do feel like I feel so much less apprehensive about watching this than I did before pressing play on the trailer, because I was like, okay, like I think I'm afraid of seeing things from the High Republic era that I'm not going to recognize, because I haven't consumed any stories from there, so I don't know what to expect or what to recognize or anything like that. But it seems, I think if it feels like too much like a prequel, then I think it might leave room for people to kind of be like, oh, so this is why that happens in the future then, as opposed to being like, oh shit, this is some really kind of heavy stuff going on. So now, you know, like it's still Star Wars, but you know, Star Wars is a vast multitude of all different types of stories, ranging from different kind of points in time, back and forth and everything. So with this one, it definitely so far it definitely kind of feels open and welcoming to someone, maybe even someone who actually hasn't seen the future stuff yet. So but yeah, definitely looking forward to it. So yeah, that was the official trailer for The Acolyte. So thank you guys as always so much for being here and for watching this video and everything. Comment on what you thought the trailer and what your thoughts are on this kind of, you know, series as a whole, and what you're looking forward to, what you hope to see, what you think they might explore. If there are any High Republic kind of stories you think I should read, either before this comes out or maybe just in general because they're good stories, then by all means leave your recommendations. I will try and fit them somewhere. I mean, they'll be going on my on my book backlog anyway, but I will definitely get around to them in given time and everything. But yeah, that is pretty much it for this one. So until the next time, bye bye for now. Hey everyone, it's Dinah, and we are back for the second trailer of today, of the past few days. The trailers have been released, and this one is for the Acolyte, for the Acolyte. So I was going to say the Acolyte season 2, I don't know why. No, but this is the official second trailer that they've released, this trailer 2, for the Acolyte. So I think this is, I can't remember when this is coming out, but I'm pretty sure it's this year. I think maybe June or July, or maybe, it's not May, so I don't know. We're already in May, so it's not coming out that soon because I've still got plenty of other stuff to catch up on. But yeah, no, I think this is like a 2024 release. So yeah, the first trailer honestly looked incredible. We saw a lot of stuff, and I think that this is set during the High Republic era, so years and years before anything that we've seen, and the first piece of televised media that we have from that era of Star Wars as well. And we saw Carrie-Anne Moss, we saw Amanda Stenberg, we saw Jedi, and we saw what could potentially be Sith as well, or at least kind of dark side Force users in some way, shape, or form. And we saw like a red lightsaber kind of cutting through trees and being caught and everything. So we saw a lot. We saw a lot of good stuff. And hopefully this new trailer shows us even more great stuff. So I for one, I'm extremely excited to see what the Acolyte holds in store, being like a fresh, original story from this era and everything. This being something new to catch on to and to explore these characters and this story and everything. Just yeah, I think it's some new Star Wars. I'm always happy to check out new Star Wars and to see what the universe has in store and everything. So yeah, official trailer number 2. Let's see what's in store.
Last night, a Jedi was murdered.
All great shows,
The
only 2 of
Jedi.
which I've actually seen.
Justify their galactic dominance in the name of peace. But that peace is a lie.
Oh, Trinity!
Jedi are being hunted.
She was my student. I trained her. Let me be the one to bring her in.
Oh damn, Master versus Apprentice. Yeah.
I sense this is only a small part of a larger plan.
Oh,
Some sort
wow.
of shift to tip the scales.
June 4th, okay.
It's time to face the past. Destiny is not decided for you by an anonymous force. If you want to pull the thread and change everything, then pull it.
Oh, jeez. Ah! Oh, that mask was good. Is that the Acolyte? Is that the Acolyte? 2 episodes per year. Oh god, that looks. Wow, that looks good. That mask looked. I mean, I want to go back to that mask. That mask actually looked fucking sexy. It's got like a jaw, almost like an open mouth jaw. Like it reminds me of something like I don't know what horror movie it is. There is a horror movie where I think it's like a creature with a face, but it's got like a really wide smile. I think, is it the Babadook? I don't know. I haven't seen the Babadook. I've seen pictures, but I haven't seen the Babadook or maybe the Boogeyman. I don't know. It looks like something out of a horror movie. The design for that is really good. I think it's probably still up in the air, like as to whether or not the Sith are actually being established or named or anything in this time. During this kind of period, but they did mention like the Jedi are dying, but it's also something like it's part of like a much larger plan, and there's like a much larger force at play and everything. And based on that one line too. Like, destiny is not chosen for you. If you want to pull at the thread to see what lies ahead of you, then pull. Like that whole kind of like that line of dialogue really stuck out to me, because I think the Force, like the dark side, the light side, the Force as a whole, like with the path you choose, I think that's been the overall kind of more kind of weighted kind of concept that's been explored and established in the lore and everything. It's like it's easy to get swayed to the dark side. Like the light side is what you're encouraged towards, and it's what you're taught towards. Like the dark side is like, it's a path you can easily be swayed to, and it's what it's what's actively discouraged. But then it's easy to sway to that side. But then it's like like at the end of the day, it's still a choice you have to make. And it's like if you want to pull at that thread, if you want to go down that side, if you want to kind of give into whatever, like give into impulsions, give into temptation, give into greed, whatever, then you pull at that thread. So it's like kind of like an every action has like an equal and opposite reaction. Like actions have consequences, that kind of thing. So maybe it's like a similar thing here. Maybe it could still be connected to like the whole kind of like the kind of power thing, like Jedi being trained, but then others are actually kind of discovering higher power and greater power through the dark side, and they're kind of encouraging that. There's like a crowd of people kind of making gestures and dressed in robes and everything, so maybe it's like a cult that's kind of starting up surrounding that, like devoting to the dark side and kind of unlocking its secrets and everything. So I don't know if I sound like I'm trying to sound like an expert or anything. I'm not. I'm far from it. There's so much about this era that I don't know. And there's even plenty from modern Star Wars that I still haven't checked out, like the shows, and plenty of other stories that's on my watch list and my reading list and all my other lists and everything. So there's plenty of Star Wars stories and lore that I am very, very eager to check out that I haven't yet. So all of this is just based on what I'm seeing now and just kind of what I already somewhat understand from existing lore and existing kind of stories and interpretations and everything like that. So it looks cool. And I think it definitely does give that vibe of like exploring the earlier kind of years of the Jedi and the Sith and the ways of the Force and everything, and kind of working to establish that kind of history to a world that we've already seen the aftermath of, like the all the stories and characters that we're used to seeing. They already know about the dark side, they already know about the light side, they know about the Force, they know how it works and how to kind of avoid it, so to speak. I mean, there's been periods where stuff like the Jedi and the Empire have died down, but then like there's always been some kind of like a resurgence and like a resistance and all that kind of stuff. So with this one, I think this being set so much earlier and still kind of having room to execute things like risk and things like danger and despair and kind of increased chance of failure for the Jedi and everything. I think that definitely makes it somewhat more kind of interesting to look at, to see how far back that kind of history of the dark side and the Force and Force usage and like the kind of teachings of the Jedi, like how far that stuff kind of stretches back, and like all the other kind of different influential factors and influential characters kind of come into play and everything. So Amanda Stenberg's character was actually his apprentice too. I think he actually did, like there was like a flashback kind of showing like how he trained her and everything and stuff. So I think interesting to actually bring in that element of like the master and apprentice relationship, but then apprentice who actually is now killing Jedi. Don't know if she's actually fully turned over to the dark side, or if she's just kind of like maybe if she's had like a change of heart, or if she actually did put on the threads and now she's gone down like a different path or something, if she's kind of going closer and closer to the dark side, or the Jedi justified their like galactic dominance through peace, or in the name of peace, but then that peace is a lie. So yeah, I think maybe even this story is going to be set like similar to the prequels. It's going to be set during a time when the Jedi are maybe kind of in control, and they're peacekeepers and they're warriors and in that sense and everything. But then apparently that is also like that peace is a lie. So maybe then in the prequels we had stuff going wrong, and we had the Sith and the Sith making a resurgence, and the dark side making a resurgence and everything, but then the Jedi were so like arrogant and so like too stubborn to actually deal with it in the open, and then they tried to cover it up and they tried to pretend everything was fine. So with this story too, we have like a similar thing going on. As far as the galaxy knows, things are fine, the Jedi are in control, there's order, there's peace, and there's freedom and everything, but then Jedi are being hunted, they're being murdered, and no one knows, maybe no one knows exactly who's doing it, and then the dark side is coming too. I think there was like a quote about something is out there tipping the scales and tipping the balance and causing unbalance and everything to the Force and everything. So then people have maybe discovered the dark side, maybe for the first time or just for the umpteenth time, and they're kind of empowering that. Like more and more people are actually shifting over to the dark side and empowering that side and shifting the scales and everything. So that kind of power is making a return, and that can be a scary time, like Jedi being hunted. But then more and more people are actually kind of tipping over to the dark side. So then there's like that kind of massive kind of unrest among the people as well. So yeah, I don't know. It seems it has like a very big kind of thriller vibe to it too, like a thriller, kind of like a not so much espionage, but like a maybe like a murder mystery sort of with the Jedi dying, but then just more like a thriller of like the Jedi genuinely don't know what's going on, they can't catch on quickly enough, but then they also don't know what to do, how to respond to it in like a public way or anything like that. So, but either way, it looks really cool, and this show as a whole looks really cool. Like all the different environments look really great, and it looks really dark and mysterious, and I love that kind of tone and that kind of energy it's got going for it and everything. So, and I'm excited to see all these people kind of in this story as all the different kind of actors and everything. So it looks like it's shaping up to be a really cool kind of show. So I can't wait for June 4th for the 2-episode premiere. So hopefully it's got like a decent number of episodes after that as well, so it's not like it doesn't end up feeling too rushed or anything, but I guess we will see. But yeah, so far that is it. That's pretty much all my thoughts so far for this trailer. So that was the official second trailer for The Acolyte. So thank you guys, as always, so much for being here and for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, then feel free to leave a like and comment on what you thought of the trailer and what you're looking forward to. Any stories you can recommend from this era, like books or comics or otherwise, any kind of stories that you've personally enjoyed that you feel like would be really cool to get into, by all means, I'm really open to recommendations. So leave those down below if you have any. And not just for this era, just anything in general. I'm already, Clone Wars and stuff is already on my watch list. I'm already going to get through that, so don't need to worry about that. But just any other kind of stories you think are really cool and worth kind of checking out and everything. And yeah, that is pretty much it. So until the next time, bye bye for now.